Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Book Nice coming at you with a quick review of the Dark Knight Trilogy Mafex Batman figure. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs.
Package and a nice little vanilla stance here. And my initial reaction is that he's okay. He's not the best Batman figure I've ever seen. It's not knocking my socks off, not wowing me too much. There are some gripes that I have with the figure, some things that are really annoying to me personally. And, I'll go over all of that in detail. As far as accessories, I'll show them, but he comes with 3 additional hands, 2 additional heads, one completely unmasked head, which is the Christian Bale head, I guess you can say. And then he has one that is like an angry face that is masked. And he also comes with the grappling gun. And I believe this other gun was like an EMP gun or something that he used in the movie. I'm not 100% sure on that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but here he is in a vanilla stance. I'll show you the accessories real quick. The 3 additional hands that he comes with, he has 2 open hands here. Actually, they're all open, but this one is designed to hold the grappling gun or the other gun, and that's pretty much it. And then he has the 2 closed fists that come on him straight out of the package. And there's the grappling gun, and you can see it has some gold and some silver, and it is some pretty nice detail on there, and these little ridges in the gun right there. And the handle, you can see that the handle is supposed to be like rubber, and I guess this part here what is supposed to be rubber too. And you can see the little chamber right there, so they did put some nice detail in the grappling gun. It looks good. Here's the other gun. Not too much shading or detail here, just pretty much a flat black. You can see these little canisters or what have you here, and the handle, and inside there you can see some gold. First head, this is supposed to be like the angry head, and this one looks okay. The eyes are just a little bit off. I feel like the left eye is not painted as well as it could be. It looks a little off. I'm not sure if that's really showing up here, but the mask and everything, the cowl looks pretty good. The paint is pretty. So the head pops off with no problem. You can see there's a round peg, and you can see the peg hole in the head. Let me get this on here real quick. And you can see that sits on there pretty well. It looks pretty good. But gripe number 1 is that I do not like the way the head pops onto the neck. It's not as snug as I would like. There's not really like a snapping mechanism where you know that it's in there. The mechanism is supposed to work where the head can actually move on the ball joint, and also the neck rotates as well. So it is actually a decent range of motion on the head and neck. It's just that the mechanism doesn't work as well as I would like it to. So it seems like I got this one on there really snug. I actually really forced it in there, so it's actually on the peg now, and it seems to be getting a good range of motion up, left, right. Again, it's moving at the neck and on the peg, so it's pretty good now. This was annoying me for the past day or so as I was trying to get it on there, because I really didn't want to force it, but I just said forget it, man, let me try to get this thing on there. So that was my one of my gripes, so I guess that will be okay. We'll see how it functions when I try to really force on the other alternate heads. But in terms of articulation, you get a ball joint here at the shoulder. It is hindered a little bit by this padding on the shoulder, on the arm, but you can flip it up and get a full 360, a full range of motion there. There is no bicep swivel. There is a single jointed elbow. You get rotation at the wrist, and you do get a hinge as well. And obviously the hands pop off. And the way this works is that, if you want to rotate this in a certain way, then you can, and put the hand back on. But gripe number 2 is that I feel like these hands don't stay on as well as they could, and when I'm trying to mess with it and articulate it, then sometimes the hand will come off, and that is a pain in the ass as well. You do get some upper chest articulation here. It goes back really far, doesn't go forward too much, because again it's hindered by this armor here. You do get articulation here at the waist, where you can actually turn it and move it up and down, but I don't like that little gap that you see there as you're trying to articulate it. If you push his torso all the way back, then you get that little gap there, and I don't really like the way that looks. Same thing on both sides as far as the hands. You do get like a ball joint here. It is similar to like the DBZ figures where the joint is embedded in there, and you can rotate it there, and it gives you a really nice range of motion where you can get the legs really high if you want to do like kicks or something like that. You get a double jointed knee, and the knee looks pretty good, doesn't look too awkward as you articulate it there. No rotation at the boot. You do get up and down on the foot, and you do get a good ankle pivot, and you do get toe articulation. But this is actually another one of my gripes here, because the toe articulation does not sit flush when you want to try to stand them up, and that is a problem, and that is just really annoying. And I feel like the legs are a little loose, and the support is not really there when you want to just try to stand them up, and it's like that on both toes. And I feel like if you keep messing with this, that this may come apart. You can see this pin here on both sides, and at one point I tried to push this all the way down, and I felt like it was going to come apart. So that is another gripe of mine as far as the feet go. He can't really, I don't feel like it's a firm stance that you can get him in. I feel like you always got to kind of finagle with it and maneuver it in a way where you'll get him to stand up straight, and I really just don't like that. I hate the way that looks right there. It's really annoying to me. And just a close look at the belt here. You can see the bat symbol, and you can see the gold with some silver and some little contraptions and things that he has on the belt, you know, different things that he may use, and it looks pretty good. And something else here, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but you can see it's black, and it looks like it has a dial right there. It looks good, and all the silver highlights right there. It all looks pretty good. And the belt is like a soft, pliable material too, so you can manipulate that and kind of move it over this gap that I really don't like if you need to. So that came out pretty good. Now the way the cape works here is very nice. This was a very nice touch. So you don't have to switch out the cape or anything like that. There are 4 very thin wires in the cape here that allow you to articulate the cape at 4 points here. So there's one here, there's one here, and then there's a space in the middle, and then there's one here and one here. And what that allows you to do is bend the cape and maneuver it in any way that you want. You could kind of make it look like it's wind swept, you know, the wind is taking it away, or put it all the way up to make it look like he's jumping down. And they did a really good job on this cape. I like to see something like this incorporated in more figures with capes, you know, not just on imports but just on domestic stuff too. This is a very nice touch they did with the cape. This is probably one of my favorite things about the figure, is the way the cape came out. I don't feel like even though the bendy wires are very thin, I don't feel like, you know, over time that they're gonna fall apart or break or anything like that. For whatever reason, I feel like they are. The mechanism is going to work well for a very long time, so I'm very happy with the way the cape came out. And just messing with the cape more, again, you can manipulate the bendy wire and kind of drape it over his shoulders and do some dramatic things with it if you wanted to. So I play with the shadows, and you know, when you're doing your A.C.B.A. and taking your pictures and what have you, you can really get some nice effects with this cape. If you didn't know, this was the second release of the Mafex Batman. I didn't mention that earlier. And the first one had a lot of problems. The arms kept falling off of the figure. And the arms do pop out of the sockets on this one, but they don't just fall off without you doing much. I know that was a major problem with the first one. I never owned that figure, but I do know that was a major problem. So the big thing about this figure too is that they're going to be having that bat pod coming out, and I mean, I could see the appeal of wanting to hold on to this guy until that comes out and seeing what displays you can set up with it. I did pretty good. I didn't pay too much money for the figure. I got it directly from Japan, so I ended up paying about $42 shipped. So that's not bad. You know, it's not a must-own figure, but it's a decent figure. And if you are interested in getting a bat pod, then obviously this is something that you need to have. And they're going to be having the Catwoman coming out, I believe, in July or August or something like that. So not a horrible figure, definitely some nice features, but definitely some things that I didn't really like about the figure. So there you have it. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.